Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining the Wellness Trinity podcast. I am Dr. Jacqueline, naturopathic doctor and owner of the Wellness Trinity, where we provide natural solutions for modern day wellness. Just a little disclaimer before we get started. What we discuss in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. What you do with the information is to be used at your discretion, as the recommendations are not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any diseases. So today we have a special guest. Her name is Rose, and we are going to discuss CBD, the miracle herb. A lot of you people have been getting into this, learning more and more about the benefits of CBD and the cannabinoid system. And I have Rose here, who is an expert about CBD. She carries CBD products in her store in Henderson, Nevada. And she was one of the first people to really break ground here with this product. So I'm really excited to have her on the show. And before we introduce her, I'm going to share a little bio. So she was born in a small town in Mexico. She grew up helping her grandparents actually, business. They used to sell food, furniture, and remedies, and she remembers that she loved to make her own infusions with a lot of flowers, herbs, and fruits. They prepared all kinds of skin products as a family with botanical herbs fresh from the garden. As a child, she learned to share what she had and learn to love nature while having a deep respect for its beauty and healing powers. She finished college in Mexico, but she always wanted to travel, so she came to the USA to learn the culture and traditions. She was in love with the culture, then met her husband here and didn't go back to Mexico. She always wanted to open her own business, so she started selling at the farmer's market about 8 years ago, and now just opened her store in Henderson, Nevada about 5 months ago to be able to prepare the same recipes her family made, which included all natural and potent formulas. So Rose, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you also for letting me share my experiences. And I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor too to have you on the show. So before we get started with the nitty-gritty about what CBD is, why don't you go ahead and just let us know, how did you even get into CBD?
Well, when I was selling at the farmer markets, I met a lot of people with all kind of issues about the skin, about pain, anxiety, and I was found like a couple years ago for a pharmaceutical company that they grow the hemp, and they do the edibles for all the dispensaries. So they were looking for somebody in Nevada that has all the natural remedies to be able to infuse their CBD and THC. And they hear about, actually, they came to my booth and bought some products and tested, take it to Clark County to see if they could find any bacteria or metals or anything. Everything passed well, and that's how I got into that business with CBD, because they bought wholesale, and I was learning from them also about the CBD, and I incorporate that to my formulas to help a lot of customers, because it makes a difference. It really goes deeply and help you, for example, with pain. It's really good. So that's how I started, like a couple years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I actually met Rose at the farmer's market maybe a year into her business. And, honestly, when I ran into her last week, we just ran into each other again last week, and she was so excited to see me. And, I couldn't remember her, but she was like, you really encouraged me at the farmer's market, 7 years ago when you're working there. And now she has this great store. And so she just started with herbs, right? Just herbs and
Yes,
essential
herbs. I was
oils.
the first one selling the essential oils, herbs and
Essential
essential
oils.
oils. And then after a while, then a year and a half probably, I was the first one selling the CBD too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was before it blew up here in Las Vegas. And well, I mean, all over the United States, it seems like it's becoming legalized more and more. But Yeah, so I'm really excited to discuss more about the science behind it. So first of all, why don't you explain to the listeners what CBD is?
Yes, CBD is a cannabis oil. It's coming from the hemp, and a lot of customers get confused with the CBD and THC. So you can find a combination, but we are not allowed to sell the THC. So we just sell CBD with maybe a traces of THC of 0.03, which that is legal and it's the full spectrum. And basically, CBD is going to help you. It's going to give you more health benefits without the high. So a lot of people is going now with CBD for all these issues that they have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the cannabinoid system is all over the body, correct?
Yes, we have receptors, and we call actually I have a little paper here that I can show you a little bit about because it's all over the body that we have our. I don't know if you can see a
Yeah,
little
I can
bit.
see a little bit.
So we always need some help. The CBD is not going to go directly to the receptors, but it's going to help a lot to work better. So they want
Okay.
to do
Yeah,
that.
great. So why are some reasons why people don't want to use the THC? Or,
I I have a lot of customers that they go and get the same formula with THC and they enjoy it, but sometimes they said they don't need to because they have to go to work, and sometimes they make you feel a little drowsy, or it doesn't like you focus the way you need to, and almost works the same. THC is gonna numb a little bit more, for example, your pain, but people they are afraid, to do to have a test and for work. So it's most customers they want to just keep using the CBD without so get the benefits without getting high.
okay, yeah. So people can even have things like depression or sexual problems too with THC, correct?
Yes, yes. Actually, I have some customers that they used to do the THC for anxiety, and they were telling me that they didn't have good experiences. It was worse. It was really bad. They got paranoid and not sleeping well. So THC is not for everybody.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I've even seen that you can have hallucinations and dizziness and other things like dry mouth and high blood pressure. So, and that's yeah, to me that makes sense why they would take that out for a therapeutic purpose.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what are other plants that have CBD in it? I figure that we have an intelligent God. I can't imagine that only one plant on earth has
Yes.
this thing that we need.
Actually, I noticed that helichrysum is one of them. It's amazing for inflammation. People with a lot of problems with the ears, they get relief right away. So it's helichrysum. It's flaxseed. We use a lot of flaxseed in our facial creams for inflammation as well. There are echinacea, which we use it for colds, flus, antibacterial, inflammation. There is one more that I never hear about that one, and I wrote it down here. It's I'm sorry, I have to look at it, but it's a electric daisy. I never hear about that one. They use it for pain, arthritis, or migraines, and it looks like a daisy, but never have it. And also the cacao, that's also another good way for it's anti-inflammatory, and it's going to help you to relax. So those are the herbs that contain the CBD.
Okay, yeah. I also see that liverwort and black pepper too, echinacea.
That's true. I forgot about that one because we don't carry that one. And
Yeah.
that one is good also for bladder problems.
Which one, black pepper or
And
liverwort?
no, the liverwort.
Oh, liverwort.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And black pepper for inflammation would be the best way to remove pain too.
Okay, yeah, I know that goes good with turmeric, which I know most people know turmeric as anti-inflammatory too, and we need black pepper to absorb the turmeric or curcumin that comes from it.
That's true.
Yeah. So what we mentioned a few things that CBD is good for so far, but why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit more about how it benefits people?
Well, in my experience, I have a lot of people from all, I mean, since adults, kids, everybody, teenagers are having a lot of problems with anxiety. I don't know if it's because the school, I don't know, if they have uh, a lot of things to do, activities and too much to study. But I can see that they love to come and buy some of the natural perfumes, which it's just CBD and essential oils, and that will help them to relax and feel better. There are a lot of choices also because essential oils are have a lot of therapeutic benefits. So combining with the CBD, which the CBD helps for everything, it's a really good way to do it when you want to use it topical. And I have adults that they want to use it because they cannot sleep well. They always think and think at nighttime, and that's another way to relax your mind and sleep deeply. I have also people that they have so much pain, they have arthritis or they have all kind of issues, and they can use the CBD for inflammation. People that is already sick to help also to balance their body, or even healthy people because they can use it as a supplement and take it every day, and that will make you feel more positive, strong. It's going to boost your immune system as well and prevent other problems too.
Mm. Yeah, so that's good to know that in general, it's not just for people that are terminally ill, that the regular person can use this on a daily basis as well too.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, nice. So, what about other things like the bigger problems I should mention, maybe Alzheimer's, diabetes?
I have actually, we have, yes, customers with those things. And I wanted to just kind of give you an idea because these studies, like some promising evidence suggests that CBD use might help people to quit smoking also. Uh, and I have some customers, they are already using some of the CBD and feeling better because it's going to help you with anxiety. So that will, and I have it here. The researchers know that CBD reduce some symptoms associated with substance use disorders that include anxiety, mood-related symptoms, pain, and insomnia. The other things that you can find, according to the reviews, the anxiety, I have some, may reduce anxiety-related behaviors in people with condition as stress disorder, panic disorder, like panic attacks. It's very common now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people using the CBD and having good results right away. So they have also um, disorders with social anxiety, depression, and they normally treat it with drugs, but now it's been a lot of studies to help, to find out if that is helping. And so CBD has been, I just tried to read a little bit of. CBD oil has been used to safely treat insomnia and anxiety in people with post-traumatic stress disorders. They can also use it like an antidepressant, depressant, like effects in several animal studies. And uh, these qualities are linked to CBD's ability to act on the brain's receptors for serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood and social behavior. That's
Mm.
another thing. They use it for epilepsy as well, since a lot of studies show that it's really good for that. And I think the FDA approved the CBD for that, for the epileptic seizures.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear. They now doctors can prescribe that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of people with diabetes, and I have this paper that says research published in 2016 by clinical hemorrhology. I'm sorry for my accent. And microcirculation found that CBD may ease the inflammation in the pancreas too. So that might be the first step in finding a CBD-based treatment for type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
For Alzheimer's, the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that CBD was able to prevent the development of social recognition deficit in participants. That means that could be the CBD could be help people in the early stage of Alzheimer's to
Mm.
keep the ability to recognize, people. So it's a good way also. And there are other studies by British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology that found CBD can fight cancer too. So they have a lot of treatments now for cancer.
Yeah. Well, just hearing your stories, I know that there's a lot of these things that you just mentioned. You've had several results with your clients too, which is, really awesome to know someone in the field that's helping people and using something. And I know that it was, you had to, there was a little bit of a fight with this because some clients don't necessarily, before it was popular, didn't necessarily agree. So I give that to you for sticking to what knew was right. And and then just knowing that it's helping people and then pushing through with that. So I really commend you for that.
No, and I learned a lot also. We've been doing shows in different places, and I have a lot of customers or new customers calling me and letting me know that that was the best gift they ever have from their children, from their sons or grandchildren, and they didn't want to try it, but once they try it, they believe and they are,
Mm.
very happy about it. But there are still some other families that I have to remove the label for the grandparents parents to be able to use it, because once they see CBD, they are not agree. But like I said, after they try it and they see the results, people
Mhm.
is waking up. People is really enjoying the CBD for everything.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, just knowing that it takes it's processed so that the psychoactive properties are released from it is probably relieving for a lot of people too, because maybe some people might like that high, but then there's going to be a lot of other people who just want to feel better and don't really necessarily want to go in that space. So, it's nice to know about CBD.
Yes, yes. And
So,
also, yes, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
And also, you can use it in different ways. You don't have to ingest it. You can use it topical,
Uh-huh.
and you can use cream for pain. Essential oils with the CBD will work also for all this type of issues. We notice people that use bath bombs because they are afraid to use it, to ingest it. So there are different ways that you can use it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a naturopath, I tend to like to use um, herbs and supplements internally, but if people have some type of skin condition, I like to use the those type of herbs also as a topical treatment too. So you're working from the inside out and the outside in. And then I'm sure things like you gave me this one. I love this. It's the energy
Oh,
one. I've been
yeah.
giving it to everybody since you let me have that. So thank you for that. And I put some on before the show too. It's her energy CBD oil. It's a roll on. So she mixed a couple other herbs in there. I'll mention them here. She has, let's see, we have peppermint, eucalyptus, rosemary, menthols, orange, cypress, or lemongrass. So I put this on before I'm doing something and throughout the week, and I just feel it's amazing how when these herbs absorb through your skin, how you can also feel that lift. And I CBD, there seems to be a lot of information about how it can relax you, but can you explain, or do you know how it also can energize you at the same time?
Yes, because we know that CBD is gonna balance your body, everything, and it's gonna make you feel good. But once you add herbs or essential oils, it feels like it's gonna do a specific thing. Like with the energy, we add some essential oils like lemongrass, which is uplifting. A lot of the spas use it also to make you feel in a good mood, and it's antibacterial. We also add some peppermint, and it is going to help you with your, like, give you some, can I say, more oxygenation to your brain.
Mm-hmm.
We have some rosemary that is going to give you good circulation.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a few more essential oils there that are going to be are going to help you to wake you up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also it's good when you have something that help you with circulation. It's also going to remove any inflammation that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, make you feel more like clear in your mind. So that roll on, you can use it for different things: energy, get you more focus, and also some pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think circulation is key in that what you said about this energy blend too. If we're circulating, then we're going to get more oxygen to our brain. We're going to think clearer. We're going to just feel better in general. But I really have been loving this in the last few days, and everyone that I've let try too, they're like, I want some of that.
Yes, I use it myself sometimes also when I'm tired and I'm working really late at home or here at the shop. And yeah, I just use a little bit on my temples and a little bit here and keep
On your
going.
nose.
Yes, I can
Okay,
put
so
a little bit.
temples and nose.
I love to smell,
Uh,
this scents, but there are a lot of customers that they love to use it on the bottom of the feet because that's where we have all the nerves, and
mm-hmm.
it's supposed to help you for everything when you use it on the bottom of the feet
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah, it's mostly the heel, right? Or is there
Yeah.
other parts? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I always thought that was interesting. I've heard that before about if you put essential oils on the bottom of your feet, they absorb better. I mean, I just look at my feet and I have dancer feet. So
Oh,
if you know what that means,
yes.
I'll get my pedicure at some point. But yeah, so I always think it's amazing how you're going to be able to absorb all those essential oils through your feet, and at least mine are. Maybe some people's are not as callous, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then it's very nice to be able to smell something that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
CBD doesn't smell that great, doesn't taste that great, but it's not too bad neither. But once you
Yeah.
add essential oils, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you gave me this other one too, the extract. And so I have taken that a little bit before I go to bed. And it's been nice. I think taking that made me not necessarily need as much calcium and some of the other things that I use that are relaxing at night, because I do some form of muscle testing to figure out what I need. Actually, he told me to take 5 drops of this at first, and I did my muscle testing with it, and it said I needed over 20 probably. My
Okay.
fiance's like, just do it.
Sometimes your body is gonna tell you the doses because everybody is so different.
uh,
And it's not about weight. I noticed also because my husband is taking 3 drops, because if he takes more, it's going to make him too sleepy. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I have to go 10, 15 drops, because that way I remove my inflammation, I sleep deeply.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you will find out is when you have a very active day, you go to bed and you keep thinking and thinking, but with the CBD, it's just gonna relax you, not more thinking. So that's how you go to sleep
Mm-hmm.
very deeply and
Yeah.
very relaxed. I can feel some good positive, you know, a feeling that everything is gonna be okay, good.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me when I was at your store the other day. It's stressful being a business owner, and I run across business owners all the time now, and even myself, and it's we're the minority. Most people get a job, and even when people have a job, I mean that can be completely stressful too. But there's a lot of faith required in taking leaps, taking that step to start a business and then have a physical location, and we're wondering, is this going to work out and all that. But you mentioned that this has been able to kind of just keep you calm through this transition as you open the store, huh?
Yes, I actually feel you don't get. It's not like you cannot. Uh, you cannot stop taking it. No, you can stop anytime. But just the way that your body feels with more energy, less inflammation, you can feel your body even lighter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then more focus. I notice also that, yeah, because I don't have time to sleep too many hours. I was exhausted, and before I was really exhausted. And as soon as I start taking my CBD, I feel better, because the 4 hours that I sleep, or 5 hours, I sleep so deeply that
Mm-hmm.
I feel my body that is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and what is amazing is the way you feel, we were talking. I feel so positive and very calm, like brave. I feel brave. And I think all of us, we're living in this, system that everything is really fast. You have to finish, you have to work really hard to be
Yeah.
able to pay all your bills. And there is not enough time to enjoy anymore. Enjoy your family. I mean, everybody is so
Mm-hmm.
busy, so many things that you
Yeah.
have to take care. So that's why I think this is the best way without giving you any you know,
Yeah.
toxins in your body, but the opposite, just getting you more healthy. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Inflammation is one of the things that everybody suffer, and just removing inflammation will help you to feel better.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
is
I mean, inflammation, I'm glad you keep mentioning that, is because at the root of people's health challenges, that's a huge one. If people have inflammation, then their body systems are not going to work the correct way, and you're not going to be circulating and getting all the nutrients and oxygen you need to be able to function well. And then of course then there's pain that comes with that too, so that's not never fun either. So I
yes.
really don't think we're supposed to grow old and fall apart and not feel good and have pain, and as a lot of people or society has kind of made it out to be. And we just need to know the tools, and CBD is one, and there's we mentioned other types of herbs that have the cannabinoids in them, but and then there's just other herbs in general that are anti-inflammatory. But it's good to know that there's these things out there, and I think it's more just about educating the public so that we know that we have these solutions there, and we don't need to suffer from these pain and inflammation and other disorders that people have, including mood challenges. That's another one that I work with a lot with my clients. And I love that you touched on the neurotransmitters as well, because neurotransmitters are a huge part of what I like to work with people, because who likes to be anxious and depressed and having low energy? And when you address the neurotransmitters, a lot of those type of issues work themselves out too. And many more. I mean, people, if you're low in endorphins, you'll have a lot of pain. So it's kind of amazing. I feel like this this one property from the plant, CBD, just touches on just so many different aspects. This is why we call this podcast the miracle plant.
Yes, yes. Because sometimes I have customers that they are looking for something to take care of everything, like, to help them. And that's the best thing. Just ingesting the CBD, yeah, will help, I guess, to balance your organs and feel better. Yeah.
Yeah. So we mentioned a few people that this is good for. Is there anyone else? You talked about adults, some children.
Pets, I seen yes, all kind of pets, but I most of them are cats or dogs. And it's the same thing for humans. They have the same feeling. They are afraid. They have anxiety. They have inflammation. Sometimes they have other things like tumor. They are too old. They don't have energy. And you just give them a few drops, one drop or a few drops every day if you can, and that will change a lot. Also, people, it's more happy uh, because you suffer when you see your pets, having a lot of problems. And it's very quick. You can see it almost next day. It's supposed to build up in 2 weeks, but most of the customers, they can feel it as a couple days soon.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned the animals too. A lot of people listening to this are probably have an animal of some sort. And I know living in the community I live in here, there's animals, and once in a while we'll get someone that will move in and has a dog that might be a little out of control.
Yes, or
And
part
we're
of
living
the
by a lot of
house.
people here, so it's
Yeah.
it could, sometimes you just want to be like, here, go take some of this.
Yes, I
Or
have a
maybe
lot
a
of
child is
stories.
crying, and I love children, but sometimes you just need to relax yourself too. Or if you're in a relaxed mode, you don't want to hear these obstructions. So
Yes.
it's interesting to think that we can use an herb or a compound from our herb that can just calm the person down or calm an animal down, and just create homeostasis. Balance is really homeostasis, what we're trying to achieve when we're working with people naturopathically. So yeah.
Yes. I have a very nice couple customers, and they were really sad about their pet because I think she was dying, or she was really old that couldn't walk no more. And they started using CBD. I guess they pet got a tumor too, something that it wasn't healing. But they came back to my booth and they mentioned that they were very excited to see her dog, walking very sexy. They even say, sexy, because she was feeling better and better and
Uh-huh.
stronger. So it's great to hear all those stories
Uh-huh.
too.
So, on the sexy note, when I went to your store, you had a roll-on that it was called Sexy Woman. It was like this, but it said Sexy Woman CBD oil. Why don't
Yes,
you tell us a little bit about that?
I used to write the names of the essential oils that I was combining with the CBD. But then my regular customers, were sometimes very confused to come back, after 3 months and try to find the same blend. And so they start calling names, and I start paying attention of what they were saying, and I name it now. So that one, it was funny because I didn't want to make that name, but it was probably about 4 people asking me for the one that make me feel sexy. And I said, why do you feel sexy with this one? So they explained that the smell is so good that they were like going to meetings, and people was asking them what was the smell or what was that kind of perfume they were using. But at the same time, they would more focus on the meetings, or more happy to be there, less nervous. So that was a couple people. Then I have another few other customers that they mentioned their husbands were very happy about it. So That's how I come out. And basically, it's an essential oil there. Ilan ilang, patchouli. Both of them are very aphrodisiac. But the
This is why
other
it's a
ones will
sexy woman
relax you.
one.
And it's more a jasmine, it's a very nice one.
Okay, so
But it will help you to relax you too.
okay. Do you have a male version of this?
Yes, it's coming. Actually, I got one with damask, sandalwood, amber resin, and it's amazing. It's
Okay.
it will relax you too at the same time if you smell it. But you can use it. I love it, and it's more masculine sense, but it's unisex. It's very very beautiful sense. We get
Okay.
some blend Oriental Arabian essential oils
Uh-huh.
that it's amazing.
So wait, this is the sexy man one that you're making that you said can
Yes,
go either way. Okay, can the
yes.
sexy woman one go either way? Can a man wear that?
It could be, yes. It could the rose. It has some smells of rose, and some men they like the rose for calming too, and
Okay.
jasmine. So yeah, it could be both ways. But
Yeah.
I know more women buy that scent.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, earlier we had mentioned how the taste of the CBD is not necessarily the best thing. It's not really the worst thing either. But some people are sensitive to taste.
Yes.
But in terms of smell, I mean, these do smell amazing. I picked up my assistant the other day and she opened the car. I was like, wow, it smells so good in here. And I had this on. So I know that there's it somehow all the other oils mask that the CBD smell or taste too when you combine those.
Yes, I always work very close with my customers since many years ago. I customize a lot of blends because some of them they have allergies or sensitive on the skin. But I found that, for example, the pain relief. I found that if I add some of the essential oils to the CBD, it's very powerful. It works right away, like in a few minutes, you'll find out. So essential oils are great also,
Mm-hmm.
has so many benefits, therapeutic benefits.
Yeah. So, how do you find the sweet spot? Like, if someone is going to consume this, how do people find, like, you said your
It,
husband takes in a certain amount, you take a certain amount, I find a way to take a certain amount.
yes, you have to read the ingredients because sometimes when you buy the CBD, most of the companies they blend it with other things like coconut, good things also. So they are not that powerful. So you need more, maybe a couple droppers. That's what they I hear from customers. But when it's a stray, you need to make sure you start with a lower doses, like 5 drops. And your body will tell you because you will feel if you feel too tired too relaxed, then maybe you need to go less or go at nighttime before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't feel anything and you still get a lot of stress, you can go with more. You can go 10 drops, and you can go one day 5 drops, next day 10 drops,
Mm-hmm.
couple days 10 drops. If it's still not working, because some customers they have a lot of issues, they have like lupus and other things, so they go more. It's okay, you can go a full dropper if you need to. I
Mm-hmm.
always say start with 5 so you don't waste it because you might not need that much. I have customers that they use 1 drop because they are very sensitive and they get dizzy if they use a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but you'll find out, and you can play with the doses. Um, Also, you can take it in the morning or at nighttime, or you can
Okay.
do both. So very easy to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were talking about business meetings earlier. So even maybe before going to a business meeting or a stressful event where you have to give a talk or something like that, right? So that you can just come in with
I should take. I forgot I didn't take it.
important for a podcast.
I have a customer. They are very nice people. Some of the vendors from the farmer market, and this guy, it's sometimes it's hard to talk, and he was taking the drugs in front of us, and then he started talking really fast, and the wife and myself we were, who is this person? You know, it was like blah, blah, blah. So the drops were making I don't know what, it was just making him feel really good. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. I just feel very calm, and yeah, he said I can say anything I want. So next time I promise you I will do a whole dropper.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, the whole dropper I think has about 20 drops, I want to say.
Yes,
Yeah, because that's what I took.
yes, and you know, I have an experience at the farmer market because we have a vendor, another vendor. She was very sick, and she got a panic attack, which we didn't know because we didn't have time to find out. It was really quick, and she was in my booth, and I just got the dropper, almost a full dropper, like three quarters of the dropper. We opened her mouth because he was like having a seizure. So we opened her mouth, gave her the drops, and it took like a half, probably 1 minute, where she was very relaxed. She was sitting down, crying, and then she started talking about she got a lot of issues with her health. And that's why she was having a panic attack. And she actually was taking some medication, and she said it's not doing too much. And she couldn't believe that CBD will make her feel, you know, really good right away. So it is amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that story.
Sure, yes.
So, how do you find good quality CBD?
Well, we have actually, what we do, we get it on writing when they explain to you what kind of method they use to extract the oil. And also, you gotta check on the price, read the ingredients, because there are a lot of CBD now from China, other places, and it's not quality in there. That's why many people said, I don't believe on CBD, it's not doing anything. But if you know, look in the ingredients uh, first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you cannot pay $3, $5 for a CBD. It
Yeah.
has to be, you know, that's the first thing. We sell the extract, so you can blend it if you want to with other oils, but that is easy for you to find out. That is just a straight CBD, and you don't
Okay.
need a lot. The other thing, I have a few things that I want to read for you because there are well, actually we have a third party lab that they do all the testing also.
Oh, that's good.
So
Yeah.
they know the CBD, you know, it's coming from organic fields, and it's not pesticides or any uh, metals or things like that. So you can look for that. That is a third party um, laboratory analyze.
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing, we have two kinds. One is that they use the old-fashioned method to do the extract, and it's the with alcohol. It's organic alcohol, but that's how they keep a clean extraction,
Mm.
and also allows to optimal like retention of terpenes, which is very important because those terpenes are very sensitive. So if you use that old-fashioned method will be a good one. And then there is another one that they use, they call like CO2.
Uh-huh.
It's they warm in a low temperature. Uh,
Okay.
in that way, you can also get a good quality CBD. And
Yeah.
that's very important because if you go with just anybody, they use methods that it's very cheap, and you get some toxins in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Every supplement that I ever recommend my clients to, I always try to make sure it's the best quality. And sometimes you are paying a little bit more, like you said, for CBD oil, and same with my supplements. A few of them are a little bit more than if you just bought something from. I'm not going to mention any names, but just the stores on the street. And there's a difference. People will notice, like, this B vitamin versus this B vitamin, or they'll feel a lot more energized off of one and maybe not as good off the other. And it's really something that people need to think about. And that's the one thing that I hear a lot about anything with the cannabis plant. There's a lot of hybridized plants out there, and ones that are not good. And those can actually be anything that's messed from God's plan, pretty much, usually is not going to be, the best source of these type of compounds. So, or anything that you're taking, B vitamins, again, or any other type of vitamin, mineral, you want to get it as close to the original form and a food-based supplement as much as possible, because then your body is going to be able to absorb it better too.
Yeah, even with regular herbs, we don't use like high temperatures, because then the benefits, all these vitamins are gonna die. So we
Yeah.
have to be careful on that. And the other thing that you also, I was thinking on, we didn't talk about how can you use your CBD topical. It's very nice if you use it topical. It's going to balance the pH of your skin. And I have a lot of like teenagers that they are using it and helping tremendously, like for the acne, blemishes, combo skin, or even super dry skin, and all those issues that you can have. It's really very good if you use it on your skin too.
Yeah, you make creams, right, and salves that you
Yeah,
can put on
we
as
have.
well, in addition to these type of roller things.
Yes, we have a lot of choices for facial creams. And the same thing, we use essential oils, and our base is fresh aloe instead of just water. And a lot of herbs like calendula, chamomile, horsetail, arnica. We use all these things or herbs, because in Las Vegas it's very dry, and it seems like a lot of people have problems with the skin, either like psoriasis, all those issues. So if you go and just get water from regular, chemicals and all that, it doesn't really help you. And it feels good at the beginning, but it's not giving you any vitamins, anything. So with these facial creams and oils, toners, these are more like a remedies. That's why we really like to keep the old-fashioned recipes. That sometimes is a headache because it's a long process, but it's worth it. You don't need a lot of things. It's just very simple. Good toner that is going to balance the pH of the skin, and then a good cream that is going to moisturize your skin, and that's it basically. We have a few other things like soap. Soap is also very nice. We make our soap with olive oil, coconut, sunflower, shea butters or mango butters, CBD, hemp, and all that. So it's another way to clean deeply your skin also, instead of using, again, the chemicals with alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't realize that it's not just what we put in our body, it's what we put on our body too. So if that's not a food, we don't really want to be messing around too much. Or if it's very, very, very far removed from a food or made in a synthetic laboratory, then it's not really something we want to put on our body too, because then now that's another form of toxin that we're going to need to detox from.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's something, for those of you listening, if you haven't detoxed your cabinets at home, in your kitchen, or your makeup cabinet, or any type of soaps that you're using, anything you're putting in the air, you really want to think about anything that you put in or on or smell that you want it to be something that is going to be closer to the garden than not. And then everybody has different allergies, so you need to pay attention to those too. But that's something to think about that could be aggravating your skin conditions. But thank God we have CBD too that can help to lessen that inflammation when you do have some flare-ups with your skin too.
Yes, it's very easy to use as well. Just put it straight, wait 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and it'll absorb quickly.
Okay, cool. So why don't you tell the listeners where they can find you, Rose?
Oh, you can find us at the store that we changed the name of Aromatherapy Garden to Garden Infusions, because some of the new customers that were confused with aromatherapy, they thought we were selling only perfumes and they didn't want to buy anything. So we came with Garden Infusion because that's what we do, the infusions from the garden. And it's at 9500 South Eastern Avenue, suite number 140, and it's Las Vegas, Nevada 89123. And the name of the plaza is Sansom. We are on Eastern. It's close to the freeway 210, and close to Serene Avenue, where we have all the restaurants. Probably a lot of you, try BJ's. We have Taco y Taco. We have Twin Peaks, Supers. What else do we have? We have Paul Mitchell Salon here also. Yeah. And we do the farmer markets. Like right now, we're doing the Fresh 52 that is on Sundays at the parking lot, right at the same place. We got the second and fourth Saturdays to Inspirada. And sometimes we do a few other farmer markets, but you can check on the website to see where we are also, going to the farmer markets. And we open every day, Monday to Friday, 11 to 7, Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sundays, 10 to 5.
Okay. So you have a website too, right?
Yes, we do have right now under the Aromatherapy Garden, the aromatherapygarden.com.
Okay. And then if people are listening abroad from Las Vegas, I said you were in Henderson. You're so close to Henderson. I just assumed it was Henderson, but it's Las Vegas.
It was Henderson before, but then
okay.
Yes, and now it's Las Vegas.
So I'm not completely going crazy. Maybe I might need some more of this. No. So it is considered Las Vegas now. Well, everyone thinks of Henderson, Las Vegas anyway. But yeah, so if people are not around this area, can they buy these CBD extracts and oils and all blends and salves and everything you have, creams, online too?
Yes, we do ship any place. You also for helping a lot of people as well and believing on all this nature, which I think that's why God gave it to us.
Mm-hmm. I believe it, right? I believe it. Yeah, nature was a gift, and we can use it in so many ways to balance ourselves. And this is one of the many ways. So thank you too for going forward in this field and being brave with it. So, do you have any last comments did you want to make?
Just like, don't be afraid to give it a try, to change little by little, but believe, because it's happening. I don't mean that you have to come to my shop. You can go any place, but get close to nature. It's not going to help us just in our body, but in our brain and our soul to feel better, because we are part of that. So let's give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The more that we can stay connected, the better, because we're getting so disconnected, and that's a lot of reason why we are having these health challenges that we are today, and mood challenges as well. So anyway, so thank you again, Rose, for coming on the show, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Yes, I'll be happy to have you here, Jackie. Thank you so much too, and everybody have a good day.